What's up, everybody? Prince here. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's been weighing on so many of us, myself included, because it directly impacts the biggest financial decision that most of us will ever make: buying a home. We're talking about the housing market, and let me tell you what's happening right now. It's nothing short of a real estate shockwave. We're not just seeing things slow down. In many ways, home sales are starting to collapse, and if you're not paying attention, this could absolutely devastate your financial future. For years, we've heard the stories, right? Multiple offers, bidding wars, home selling for way over asking with no contingency. It felt like if you even thought about a house, it was already sold. I've seen it firsthand, the desperation in people's eyes, the crushing defeat when their best offer still wasn't enough. It created this intense fear of missing out, this feeling that if you didn't buy now, you'd be priced out forever. And for long, that fear was justified. But what if I told you that the tide has turned dramatically? What if the very foundation of this frantic market is now crumbling beneath our feet? As of June 2025, the data is screaming a different story. We're seeing something truly unprecedented, a massive, and I mean massive, increase in canceled home purchase agreements. Think about that for a sec. These aren't just people casually browse. These are people who went through the emotional roller coaster of finding a home, making an offer, negotiating, and getting it under contract. They probably told their friends, their family, maybe even started packing boxes, and then at the 11th hour, sometimes moment before closing, the deal falls apart. Poof, gone. We're talking about cancellation rates hitting their highest in 8 years. In some months, over 14% of all contracts just vanished. Imagine being a buyer in that situation. You thought you had your dream home. You emotionally invested, maybe even spent money on the inspections or appraisals, only for it to unravel. The disappointment, the frustration, the sheer feeling of helplessness, it's crushing. And it's happening to hundreds of thousands of people right now. So, who's the real villain here? What's causing this widespread cold feet? This epidemic of deals falling apart? Well, all circles back to one painful, persistent factor: mortgage rate. For what feels like an eternity now, we've been stuck in a brutal range, consistently seeing rates between 6% and 7% for a 30-year fixed mortgage rate. Now, I know some of you, like me, remember the glorious days of 3% or even lower. It felt like free money. You could lock in a low payment and build equity like crazy, but those days, my friends, are long gone. And for many, this isn't just an inconvenience, it's financial impossibility. It jumped from 3% to 6.5% on a $400,000 mortgage. That's not just a few extra bucks, that's hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars added to your monthly payment. That's the difference between being able to afford daycare of your kids, or putting food on the table, or saving for retirement, and being completely house poor. It's a gut punch that most people simply can't absorb. I can tell you how many messages I get from people saying, "Prince, my income hasn't doubled, but my housing costs effectively half. How am I supposed to do this?" And the answer from many is, you can't, not right now. This leads us to a crippling issue of affordability. It's not just about the sticker price of the home anymore, it's about the monthly payment. And with the rates this high, the same house that might have been manageable 2 years ago is now completely out of reach for a huge segment of the population. It's pushing people out to the brink, forcing them to either stretch their budget dangerously thin or giving up on the dream of home ownership entirely. Imagine working your entire life, saving every penny, doing everything right, only to find out that the goalposts have moved so far that you can't even see them anymore. It's demoralizing. But that's the fascinating, almost ironic twist. While demand is being crushed by these high rates, the inventory is slowly, steadily creeping up. This is a monumental shift. For so long, we lived in a market of scarcity. If a house popped up, you had to act immediately, or it was gone. Buyers were desperate, almost begging sellers to accept their offer. But now we're seeing more homes on the market. Not an explosion, mind you, but enough that buyers are starting to get options. And what happens when buyers have options? They regain a sliver of power. They can be pickier. They can actually think before making an offer. If the appraiser comes in low, they can walk away. If the inspection reveals too many problems, they can walk away. If they find a house a few blocks over that has a better fit or a better deal, they can walk away from the first one. This newfound leverage is directly contributing to skyrocketing cancellation rates. It's no longer a seller's market where every deal is guaranteed. It's a market where buyers are finally able to exert some control over their own financial destiny, even if it means pulling the plug on the deal. So is this the great crash everyone's keep talking about? The one that's gonna end us spiraling back to 2008? Look, I don't have a crystal ball, and every market, every city, every neighborhood is different. But what we're seeing right now isn't a sudden catastrophic collapse of prices across the board. Instead, it's a slow, painful rebalancing. It's a market that's stalled, Prices aren't necessarily free falling everywhere, but the rapid appreciation, the bidding wars, the momentum is gone. It's like a housing market hit a brick wall and now it's trying to find its footing again. Sellers are finding that they can't demand the outlandish prices they used to. Buyers are facing the harsh reality of mortgage payments. It's a standoff. And in this standoff, the buyers, through their newfound ability to simply not buy or to cancel deals, are starting to exert pressure. It's a quiet revolution happening to one cancel contract at a time. And this isn't just a slight adjustment. This is a fundamental shift in the psychology of the market. It's causing immense stress for everyone involved. For those who are buyers, what does this collapsing home sales trend mean for your money? It means that patience is no longer a luxury, it's a strategic advantage. You might have actually started seeing more opportunities, more homes sitting on the market longer, and potentially even price reductions in certain areas. This is your chance to breathe, to evaluate, to ensure that the numbers truly make sense for your budget, not just for the seller's asking price. But don't misunderstand me. Mortgage rates aren't going to plummet overnight. The Federal Reserve is still betting on inflation, and that means borrowing costs will likely remain elevated for the foreseeable future. So while you might get a better deal on the house itself, the cost of borrowing money is still going to hurt. If you're a seller watching this is your undeniable wake-up call. The party is over. The days of slapping any price on your home and expecting it to sell in hours with multiple cash offers are, for the most part, gone. You need to be realistic with your pricing. You need to be prepared for negotiations. You need to understand that buyers are now operating from a place of caution, not desperation. If your home isn't priced competitively or if it has issues that would have been ignored just a year ago or two, it's going to sit. And sitting on the market for too long is a death knell for a seller. It signals desperation and buyers will pounce. This isn't just about stats on a screen. This is about real people's lives, their hopes, their dreams, and their deepest financial anxieties. I've heard from countless viewers, people who put their entire life savings into a down payment only to see their monthly costs become unbearable. Or those who sold their homes try and buy another one only to get stuck in a limbo, watching rates climb higher while their dream home becomes a distant fantasy. This is profoundly personal. It's about whether you can afford or raise your family in a place that you can call your own, or if you're stuck renting, feeling like a dream of home ownership is drifting further and further away. The truth is, this isn't an easy market for anyone. Buyers are frustrated by the rates and lack of affordability. Sellers are frustrated that they can't get the prices they once could. By ignoring the reality, clinging to the narratives of 2021 and 2022, that's where you truly lose. The only way to navigate this real estate shockwave is to understand it, adapt to it, and make decisions based on where the market is right now, not where you wish it was. This market demands calculated moves, not emotional ones. It demands understanding your budget down to the last dollar, locking in a rate where you can genuinely afford, and being prepared to walk away if the numbers don't make sense. Because in this environment, taking on too much risk, getting swept in the emotions of a home, could lead to financial regret that lasts you for decades. So what I want to hear from you, have you experienced the real estate shockwave firsthand? Did a deal fall through for you? Are you a seller struggling to find a buyer? Or are you on the sidelines waiting, watching, wondering if this is finally your chance? Share your story, your frustrations, your insights in the comments below. Your experience helps all of us understand the true impact of what's happened. And as always, if this video brought you value, if it opened your eyes to the reality of what's unfolding, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more raw, unfiltered financial truth. And I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace.